So in this video, we're going to learn about plotting points on a graph. Now, a graph is just a way of visually presenting data. So just like when you're reading a book, you can read a novel with lots and lots of words, or you can also read a picture book. And usually a picture book is a lot quicker to read and a lot easier to read. In math, we have the same thing. We can deal with numbers, or we can show those numbers visually on a graph. A few things to point out about the graph is we can have positive numbers and we can also have negative numbers. Now, what you've probably been used to seeing is a graph just with the positive numbers. So you usually deal with this section right here. But what I want to do is show you all four quadrants of a graph just so we get more comfortable dealing with that. Now the graph has two axes. There's the horizontal axis, which we call the x-axis, and we have a vertical axis that we call the y-axis. So side to side is the x-axis, and up and down is the y-axis. I always remember this because the y is kind of like a tall, skinny letter, so it's going up and down. So when we're graphing data on a graph, we'll usually be given coordinate points, and we have to put a dot where that coordinate belongs. It might look something like this. You'll have brackets, and in those brackets, you will have two numbers separated by a comma. Now, the first number in the bracket is always the x value, and the second number is always the y value. It's really easy to remember this because it's in alphabetical order. So when I place this dot on my graph, the x value is going to be positive 5. The y value is going to be positive 2. So the first value is positive 5. The positives are to the right. So I'm going to go to positive 5. And then I have to deal with this second value. Now, if the second value, the y value, is positive, I'm going to go upwards. If it's a negative number, I'm going to go downwards. And I can see the negative y's are down here. So from positive 5, the y value is positive 2. So I'm just going to go upwards 2. And you always want to confirm that you're right. So starting at your dot, if you go down to the x value, it's 5, just like my coordinate point. And if I were to go to the y-axis from this dot, it's at 2, which is the same as my coordinate dot, so I know I did it right. Usually what some people do, probably the most common mistake, is switching up the x and y values. So instead of going to 5 for the x value, they'll go to 2, and they'll treat 5 as being the y value, and they'll go up to here. But we can tell these are two different positions, so you have to always do x value first, and then your y value. So what I want you to do is pause the video. I've given you another coordinate point. In this case, it is 4, -3. See if you can plot that on the graph. So what we have to do is we're starting with our x value. We know the first one is 4. So on the horizontal axis, I go to positive 4. The y value is a negative, so I know right away I'm going downwards, and it goes down 3 spots to -3. And I can put a dot there. And we can see from this dot, the x-axis is 4, and the y-axis is -3. So pause the video, see if you can plot -7, 1. So first value is our x value. We go -7, then y value is a positive, so I'm going upwards, and it's going to be right there. -7, 1. One final one. -5, -9. Pause the video and see if you can graph it. So -5, -9 is right here. So again, -5 on the x value, -9 on the y value.